When you're new to the United States Army, you might be a little bit worried about what do I need? Do I need this? Do I need that? Well, when you're talking about Army basic training or advanced individual training or AIT, you really don't need much of anything. Maybe some hygiene stuff here and there, but the main important things that you might need might not come until you get to your very first unit. And that's mainly talking about like active duty, because if you're in the reserves, National Guard, well, you get to go back home after you're done with your initial training. But for those individuals going active duty, once you get to your actual unit, then there's some certain things that maybe you might need. And that's what I want to kind of focus on. We've got 5 specific things that I'm going to be talking about to make sure you know what to probably have. And a bonus, if these are items that you already have. So just keep in mind, active duty individuals, right? These are probably things that you might need, whether you are a married soldier that is gonna be living off post or in on post housing, or maybe even an individual that is single. Some of these may not apply for one or the other type of thing. I think some of these are maybe more important for like single soldiers with maybe one of them, but there are some things that definitely apply for married soldiers as well. So it doesn't matter if you're married, single, probably some things that I recommend, 5 specific ones that I recommend that you might wanna purchase when you get to your actual unit. When you get out of that initial training and you get to your unit, 5 things you might need. The first one, mainly for single soldiers, because as married soldiers, probably are gonna have this stuff anyways, but the first one I recommend is some sort of bedding. You're gonna wanna have some good blankets, some good pillows, some good sheets. The Army does issue you some stuff, so if you're gonna be living in the barracks, because you're a single soldier, they do have some basic sheets, some basic pillows, probably a basic blanket. Sometimes it's the crazy itchy wool blanket, sometimes it's something a little bit nicer, but you may have to kind of evaluate it when you first get there, but probably have like an expectation that you're probably going to need to get some sort of better bedding than what the Army's probably going to issue you. If you're working on a budget, screw it, keep the stuff that they issue you. It may not be the best and comfortable, but sure, maybe it works. But if you've got in your budget to be able to get some better bedding, then I would recommend doing so. You can easily hit up like the PX, you can go downtown, hit up Walmart, hit up whatever, get you a good comforter, get you a good set of sheets, a comfortable pillow, because yeah, in the end, when you have a place to lay your head, to rest at night, you wanna be comfortable, so I'd recommend getting some good comfortable bedding. Second one, sometimes you can get these for free, but a multi-tool. You'll be surprised how often a multi-tool like a Gerber, a Leatherman, something along those lines will come in handy. Sometimes it's as simple as, you got some extra string hanging off your uniform, or something was too tight in the motor pool and you gotta pull out those little pliers that are in the multi-tool, or it's got a knife on it, sometimes you gotta cut something off, you gotta cut open an MRE bag or whatever. A multi-tool comes in pretty good handy kind of scenarios. Now, like I said, sometimes you can get these for free. Sometimes you can go through your supply, and sometimes they'll issue you one that, depending on the unit, you may have to turn it back in. Sometimes it's yours and you get to keep it. Otherwise, if you don't have the opportunity to get one for free, then you can find one pretty cheap. I mean, you can probably get them for like 20 bucks if you want to get the more higher end ones. Then sure, you can spend a little bit more money to get like a more name brand type of one, but you'll find that they're pretty handy to be able to carry around. They usually come in some kind of a case to be able to put on your belt, and you can have that on you because it's going to be covered up by your uniform top anyways. So you can have that on you to be able to carry around with you as a daily carry type of item, and you'll find that it actually comes in handy quite often. Number 3 may depend on your scenario, but some sort of mode of transportation. That could be a car, a bike, maybe a scooter, whatever you want to kind of utilize. Some individuals are trying to live completely as, budget friendly as possible in the Army, especially if you're a single soldier, maybe you're living in the barracks, maybe you have everything nearby, or you can catch a ride or whatever, then sure, maybe you can go on the low end and maybe just go with a bicycle. If you want to walk, you can walk, but sometimes there's gonna be days where you probably wish you had something a little bit faster than walking, but nonetheless, you can go with the completely free option and just walk to where you need to go to. But I would say maybe living in the barracks as the very minimalist type of thing. Maybe a bike, maybe even an electric bike, because those are pretty handy to be able to have. Now, there are gonna be certain time frames where maybe that's difficult, especially depending on where you're stationed at. Like if you're stationed at Fort Drum, New York, and it's winter time, well, you're probably gonna have a hard time trying to ride that bike in the snow. So that could be a little bit of a hindrance to be able to allow you to get to places you need to go to. Otherwise, maybe you go for a car, right? If you are a married soldier, you're gonna probably need to have a car, especially you got a spouse that has to get to work, you gotta get to work type of thing. You're probably not gonna live in a convenient location to be able to walk to work, even if you live on post. So if you're married, don't get into the habit of I can just not have a car. If you're married and you're in the Army, you're gonna need a car. You're gonna need some sort of better mode of transportation than a bicycle or walking. Single soldiers, where you have a little bit of luxury to maybe kind of rough it out for a while, you know, until you get tired of it, or however long you wanna be able to do so. But if you're married, you're gonna need a car. Maybe even 2 cars. It really depends on you and your spouse as far as how you kind of work things. If your spouse has a job, then you're probably gonna need 2 vehicles. It's probably gonna be a little bit difficult to be able to share 1 vehicle if you both have jobs. Probably even if that spouse is a stay-at-home spouse, where it's gonna be a stay-at-home mom, stay-at-home dad, whatever the case is, maybe a little bit difficult to be able to, you know, get to the store, do things with the kids. If you have any children, if you don't have any children, well, still, you're gonna have your spouse cooped up at home while you're at work, so it can be a little bit challenging. So you're gonna need a car, but I don't recommend going out and trying to find the latest and flashy thing that's out there that's probably gonna cost you a lot in a car payment. Maybe starting off, depending on how your budget is and what your finances are like, you may have to start off with something that just works, something that's used, maybe it's several years old, but it runs well, it's got a good warranty that maybe you paid a little extra to be able to get. Don't go out buying the latest BMW, the latest, you know, Dodge Charger, whatever kind of a thing. Probably just gotta start off with something that you can keep within your budget that's gonna allow you to still be able to afford car insurance, afford maintenance, and everything else you need to do, and other bills. So don't get yourself over your head with some brand new car that, you know, is gonna kill you in the long run, because it's gonna cost you a lot to make those payments and that car insurance and everything. Sometimes you just gotta start off with the basics and start off with something that's really cheap. But if you're married, you may already have a vehicle, so you may not have to worry about that part. If you are a new soldier, a single soldier, and you're going to the barracks, you might be able to get away with not having a car, but sometimes it does get a little bit challenging. You kind of realize that, hey, I need a vehicle. Maybe start off with something really basic. Number 4, some good boots. You're gonna get issued boots, sure. And if those boots are comfortable for you, great. But for the most part, they may work for the time being, but there are definitely a lot of boots that maybe could work better, especially if you're wearing them a lot. That's gonna be your main daily wear, is those boots, you know, working in the motor pool, working in an office, working in the field, whatever the case is, you wanna be comfortable. And the basic issue ones might work for a little while, but if you can afford it and you got it in a budget to be able to get some more comfortable pair of boots, go for it. I know me personally, like I've had a pair of Oakleys. The Oakley ones were great. They were super comfortable. They didn't last a real long time though. They did wear out pretty quick, but they were really comfortable. I even have over in the Discord channel, if you want to join the Discord, I got a link down in the description box down below. There is a little kind of forum area that people have been talking about, like boots they recommend for people to purchase to get some boots that are comfortable, and you can check out there to see what people are recommending. You can probably just do a search for different ones. The key thing that if you are buying boots to be able to use in uniform, they have to be AR670-1 compliant. They have to be compliant with wearing in the Army uniform. So usually that typically means, you know, they have to be a certain length, a certain height, basically. They have to be a certain color. They can't have zippers on the side, all sorts of things. But usually you can look it up pretty easily to make sure that these boots are AR671- compliant. I can't keep on messing that up. AR670-1 compliant. But if you pick them up from like the PX or one of the stores like in the shop at area, the PX area, those are typically going to be like compliant with wearing them in uniform. But sometimes it's pretty important to be able to have those comfortable boots to be able to use for the field or for the day-to-day life. Maybe you save those Army issued ones for the field because they're gonna get jacked up, and you have a really good comfortable pair to wear for the day-to-day life. Now, the 5th and last one I'll recommend to be able to get when you get to your final duty station. You are all done with your initial training and you get to your duty station as a single soldier, as a married soldier, whatever the case is some form of entertainment. If you're married, you're probably gonna already have it. You're probably gonna have a computer, you're probably gonna have a TV, because I'm sure your spouse doesn't wanna sit there and just read books or stare at the wall or stare at each other all day. So you're probably going to have some form of entertainment. But for single soldiers out there, you know, you living in the barracks, maybe it wasn't something that you thought about right away. Maybe it's something you're eager to get out of basic training, but some form of entertainment, whether that's a laptop, a full-fledged desktop computer, a TV, maybe a PlayStation, Xbox, whatever. There's gonna be times where you're just hanging out in the barracks, right? And you're gonna wanna have something to do. You're gonna get bored if you just sit there and sleep your life away, or you end up getting bored and just drinking alcohol if you're of age, or even if you're not of age, I guess, I don't know. But you want to have some form of entertainment. You know, that can be easily just like a laptop, you know, to be able to watch a lot of things on that, right? You can watch movies off there, you can play games on there, you can surf the internet on there. It's an all-in-one type of thing. Some people may want to go the route of getting a TV to be able to watch TV, maybe get like a Google Chromecast, or maybe a Roku or whatever the pronunciation of those damn things are called, right? To be able to watch some TV off of. But You know, usually along with that, you're gonna have to get internet. You know, in the barracks, they're not gonna have free internet. I think there are some barracks I've heard of that is doing like some trial run things where they have real basic internet that they're trying to provide to soldiers for free, but otherwise, most locations you probably have to pay for some sort of internet service to be able to have internet in your barracks room. But having that form of entertainment, it's gonna be crucial to keep you entertained when you're off, when you're hanging out in the evenings, you know, when you're done with work and everything, to watch your favorite shows, watch your favorite movies, play your favorite games, whatever it is you wanna do, keep yourself entertained. So make sure you get yourself some entertainment. For my veterans out there, whether you're currently in the Army, you were in the Army, whatever the case was, leave me some comments down below. I wanna know what was your number one thing you gotta have when you get to that final duty station. When you actually get out of initial training and you're at your duty station, something you must have. I wanna hear about it down in the comment section down below. And if you can't think of something, leave me your favorite emoji because, hey, algorithm purposes. Drop a comment, whatever it is, I don't care. Leave me a comment down below. Definitely for me, it was entertainment. I had my guitars, I had an amplifier, I had a computer, even had a PlayStation and everything like that. Some of that stuff you have to build up to. Maybe you're a young private and you first get to your unit type of thing. You may not have the extra funds to be able to buy everything. You have to start off kind of slowly. I think the first thing I started off with was a TV, and back in that time, it was a TV, like there was like a 13-inch TV with a VCR combo type of thing when I was a young private in the Army. But nonetheless, I had my entertainment, I had something to watch, and then from there I was able to start leveling up a little bit to maybe add a computer, maybe add a PlayStation. The PlayStation I don't think worked very well with a 13-inch TV. It might have worked, it might have had the coaxial cables. Nonetheless, right? The entertainment was something important for me for those times where I didn't feel like going out and doing something. I just wanted to hang out in my barracks room, veg out, watch some TV, play some games. Entertainment was important to me. Now make sure you're checking out the links down in the description box down below to follow me on social media, to join the Discord channel. Make sure you're hitting that thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel, of course. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for watching. I'm Christopher Chaos, and I'll see you next time. See ya. Hey, you made it this far. Good job. I'm proud of you. I really am. But you should check out this video. There's a video right here that I highly recommend you go check it out. So go watch it and have a great day.